any sports-oriented state can do is to make sure that you have competitions, especially at the grassroots. Is to make sure that you have facilities at the grassroots. Is to make sure that you have people who are willing to train these budding athletes to make them excel. And I think in all these three areas, Lagos State has started making its mark. We now have competitions in the local government. We now have coaches deployed to the local government. And we have school sports. If I were the technical director of AFN, I'd be able to beat my chest. But all I know is that Nigeria will come back with medals. Let me predict minimum of 3. Nigeria has not been, we've not been having medals at the World Championship for some time now. But this time around, I'm sure we will come back with medals.
Yeah, good morning once again. Of course, this morning I have George Ashiru in the house. He is the president of Taekwondo Federation of Nigeria and also the vice president, the first African for that position, the Commonwealth Union. George Ashiru, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. And Yemi is also in the house. Yemi Alusi, she was here before. She is with National Mirror. Of course, the only thing she writes is athletics and of course sometimes tennis, right?
Yeah, sure.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now we're starting with Taekwondo. What is happening in the Federation? Of course, we know it's all about good news and of course your new position and everything. Let's start from what is happening in Taekwondo, because especially the last competition that they went for in Mexico. Okay, let's start from there.
Thank you. Thank you. We just got back from the World Championships. It was one of the most successful ever organized. They had about 140 countries. And we went with a representative team. We specifically made sure that the athletes that were going were already in the top 10 in the world, so that we had a good chance.
Of getting at least something.
Yeah, well, the boys didn't come back with medals, but
Okay.
it's been 20 years since Nigeria won a medal at the World Championships. Yeah. So we have a lot of work to do to get the boys, our team, boys and girls, into that frame where they'll start winning medals again. Most of the people that they competed against are people who are competing probably 12 times a year all over the world.
Okay.
So
and how many times do the Nigerian team compete?
Maybe once or twice.
That's
and that even is self-sponsorship. Okay. So we need to work more on that. So it was tactical for us. We needed to go there. We needed to be part of the family. We needed to be represented. We needed to see what was going on. That was my own first World Championship as president. So obviously I needed to be part of the Congress. And by death of good fortune, I was also in the Commonwealth Taekwondo Union Congress and was elected vice president. So it was a good overall performance for us.
Okay, well, from what you just said, you have other athletes actually competing close to 12 times in a year.
That's right.
Right now, you are the president.
Yes.
When you were not there, it was difficult for you to actually, make some rules and all that. But now you are the president. What are you going to do to ensure that at least, not just 1 or 2, at least, I know we can have 12, which is kind of huge, but we can have close to 5 or 6, at least bridge the gap.
The bottom line is this. Sport is huge investment.
Yes.
There is no way around it. There is no waiting for corporate sponsors to take athletes out. Most of the countries we met, 95% of them, their athletes were sponsored by the government.
Government?
By their government.
Outside Nigeria?
By their government. The British is a perfect example. The government gives them £100 million and says, look, you need to prepare for Rio. It's not a matter of
£100 million only taekwondo.
And that is just a drop in the ocean. The average British athlete gets 110,000 British pounds a year to prepare per year.
Okay.
So the budget. So when you compare about 30 million naira per athlete to Nigeria, who doesn't get, maybe he's lucky to get 500,000 naira, then we are running against huge odds. So we can't wait for the Chukwuemerijes to look for his own personal funds.
Exactly, because he's the only one that actually he's in that position.
He's the only one that's top 20 in the world.
Yeah.
He's the only one ranked top 20 in Nigeria. And to qualify for Rio, you need to be top 6.
Top 6.
So if you think we are going to rely on the various corporate organizations to come and help us, no. The government has to step up That's what I found out. I found out the government has to step up there. So, but government will not fund a strategic plan that is not sellable.
Okay.
So my biggest job is to go back to government
To
and
sell
say,
it.
"Look, this is
Exactly.
my plan.
Okay.
And this is what my plan would bring forth. This is what it will, that's what I call it, a strategic initiative for Taekwondo. We need to go back and say, look,
Which is?
we have a SIFT process
Okay.
that will take athletes from grassroots, put them in the world class in the next 8 years. Those who are currently world class, get them nearer to medal table in the next 4 years.
Okay.
So I need to sell that. In the process, the government, with our support, or us with the government support, Nigeria Taekwondo Federation is government either way.
Okay.
We will then reach out to more support from corporate entities, but they can only put so much. They can only put so much. The economy is not very, very bright. Few companies are rich enough to put in tens of millions,
Yes.
and we are looking for hundreds of millions.
Oh,
So it's back to the fact that the president has said that you want us to win 5 gold medals, then we've got to put our money where our mouth is.
okay. Now 5, 10 good medals. But the issue is it's always very difficult because if you check most of the world championships now, apart from athletics that kind of the focus is always on, for them to focus on taekwondo, it's a difficult task. And the last time we went to London, Chukwumerije was just the main man everyone was talking about. And it seems we've not really have any other athletes that you can bank on that can say, okay, this person won a medal. I remember the last time Chukwumerije was talking about he may not just compete in Rio. So if he's not going to go to Rio, now who are the athletes who have been banking on? I mean, Yemi, you have a question right after this answer.
Well, look at it this way. Chika is now just about 30.
Yes.
He started competing about 20 years ago. So a lot of people think Chika just grew up one day and started
Said,
competing.
no.
It takes a long time to be a world-class athlete.
Okay.
And then by the time he became, in quote, world-class, which is at Athens, what happened was from Athens, he now said, okay, I think I can go from just being a participant to being a champion. Then he started looking for money.
Okay.
He had a plan, he started looking for money.
Okay.
And that was just one man. Now, who told you we don't have lots of chicas around?
Okay,
but who
have
can't
that-
have that kind of
okay.
funds?
Okay.
Who don't have access to money, who don't have access to the kind of mentorship, the kind of coaching schedule, international exposure necessary to take you from just being a local champion to become an international champion.
champion,
Now,
okay.
we were the first set of champions for this country. We
Yes.
know what it took. And if from between 1987 and now, we've had a good record in the Olympics.
Yes.
Emmanuel Peters won silver in 1992.
Yes.
What exposure did he have? But then in 1993, he won World Championship bronze, best ever in World Championship till now. We haven't had anybody win any. That's 20 years ago. So are you telling me that in 20 years,
and
we
now
couldn't,
we haven't gotten
we couldn't
one-
find enough people to know? The difference was back in the military era, the soldiers gave a lot of money.
Okay.
It was just military fiat. Take, go. So we need to go back to a little bit of a military precision.
Well,